Well, hey everyone, it's time for Geocache Talk. Whether you're at work, in the car, wherever you are, we hope you enjoy the show. Please give it a like and subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher, Pocket Cast, TuneIn Radio, Google Play, and now we can be found on Spotify. You can get all the weekly Geocache Talk goodness. Big thanks to the Travel Bugs for the music and our patrons, Demon Hunter 2, Aggie Jedi Master, Electric Water Boy, Antaeus, Joshua the Geocaching Vlogger, Nick at Cashly, One Kind Word, Ravenclaw Tia, Shermanator 18, Butterfly Girl, Loon Trackers, the Aussie Geocacher, Sodak Zach, the Deadliest Cachers, Terrell 2, Neil Moore, Molly the Geocaching Dog, Team D&D, Geocaching Adam, Peachy 1276, the No Code Geocachers, Curiosity Girl, Tick Magnet, Marsipanic, Bricker John, Firesafe, FS Sabero, Geo Rick, Cache Addict Mel, Geocaching Jangie. Look at that, huh? Interesting. The plot thickens. The Geocaching Junkie, Sir Drumalot, Janice, Tricasius, Tom Frey, Rugels, the Bruce Zero, EGK PBR, Casamaya, Master Sergeant USMC, Little Gears, Albedo 0.39, and our new patrons, It's Only Barney, and Purple Turtles 3. I love that. We got some great names in there. That's our couple of our new ones there. It's Only Barney and Purple Turtles 3. Woo! If you'd like to become a patron, head on over to patreon.com/geocache talk for more details. Patrons get path tags, coins, other geocaching swag during the year, as well as invites to special events only for patrons. Support levels start at as little as $3 a month. Well, let me start by welcoming my co-host, Jesse.
Good evening.
He made it in the nick.
Barely made it.
Barely made it. That's okay.
I had some work to do thanks to another podcaster out there. So
listen to that. Today. You did have some work. You had to get after it today. That's good. All right, let's jump right into show number 86 for February 18th as we welcome back to the show Angie, aka Jangie. God, tongue-tied tonight. Welcome back to Geocache Talk.
Hello. Thanks for having me back.
Oh, you bet. Absolutely. And we'll talk more about that here in a moment. But first, and Angie, definitely jump into the news part as we go through the news as well. But we're going to talk about the news. And I'm going to start with something I forgot to do last week. And of course, the chat room was all over it. And of course, I'm like, face palm. I forgot to mention the answer to the geocaching oracle, which was the Eiffel Tower. That was the answer to the question. So pretty much everybody got it right. I had one that missed it, but that's okay. You know, they took a shot at it, and we'll do that again someday. Probably we'll wait a little bit. We just did one. So anyway, but we had good response to that. I did mention earlier about the fact we're on Spotify. In case you're a Spotify listener, you can now find us on there. Now, also got a note from someone in our Facebook group that there aren't all of the episodes are not showing up on Google Play, and so I need to go look into that. It goes back to like show 40, so it's not all of them. It's quite a few of them, but it's not all of them. So I'll do some digging and figure out what happened with that one.
Some kind of limit or something.
I don't know. That's an interesting. Yeah, it could be. I'm not sure. To pull back the curtain a little bit is I don't actually do a whole lot for those other than sign up for them. And then sometimes I have to give them the RSS feed. But basically I put it on Podbean, which is our folks that do our service for that. I did do, in case you're wondering, you have to jump through a lot of hoops for iTunes, but once you get it set up, it just runs. You don't have to do anything. And all the other ones that we mentioned at the beginning of the show, they feed off of the same information that I send iTunes. So I don't really do much with those, which is good because it'd be a lot of work to put them all on. I mean, we're on like Podcastpedia, like Wikipedia. There's a Podcastpedia website. There's a bunch of them, so I only mentioned a handful. But
you're ruining the magic, Gary. Everybody
I
thought
am
re-uploaded for every one of those. Now we're not as impressed.
I know, that's okay. I like to be real. I like to be real with everybody. I'm not doing a lot of work for those, but we did provide them because I know a lot of people. I'm surprised there's some of them that people really love Pocket Cast, which is great. Anyway, enough about that. We have a follow-up point from Rodney from last week, Jesse. He sent it to us, and I'll read it real quick. So just got back from our caching trip to Texas. Thanks for the tips. Like you guys mentioned on the podcast, we planned our route between Houston, San Antonio, and Austin and back. Only stopped at geocaches that we really wanted to finish up only stop at geocaches that we really wanted to. Finished up some counties my partner had on his list. He was hunting caches to finish off Jasmer. And then he mentioned that he hit about 60 caches, mostly virtuals, a few traditionals, 3 webcams, and just for Memphis, some Where I Goes.
All right.
Yes.
That made the trip right there.
It made the trip. One thing he mentioned, though, or something he mentioned to us that we did not mention, Jesse, is the fact that another resource for trip planning was to reach out to geocaching locals to the area you're going to. It's a great help because sometimes favorite points don't tell the whole story.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, when I'm going far, that's one of the first things we do is either find a local event or host a quick, event if you have the time to stop through. Right. And like one of the first times I did that was going out to Rhode Island years ago. And I just did an event at the hotel we were staying in before we got started the next day, and just did a quick event like in the lobby at the coffee place in the lobby.
Right. That's a good idea.
The people, like a dozen people showed up, and we sat there for hours talking, and they were like, "Oh yeah, this is where you need to go." And it wasn't even relevant to favorite points. We would have just picked random caches, and people are great. The local people know the area. They know the ones, they all have their favorites that you want to go do. And hey, don't forget this older one out here. And yeah, he is absolutely correct. Yep. Talk to locals. Facebook is a good thing for that too. If you're going to another state, every state has a Facebook group. Right. For geocaching, you can always reach out on that group and say, "Hey, I'm going to be in this area. What's some good stuff to check on if you don't have time to slow down when you're going through?"
Right.
And people are generally pretty good about that. Yeah, cachers are.
Right.
Oh yeah, he's absolutely right about that.
Yep. Thanks for the great podcast. There's always something interesting on it. Billy Robson he's Rodney. I don't know why he goes by Billy Robson. You have to tell me that story someday, Rodney.
Our weekly webcam watch.
Yes. What are we?
We're holding strong at 114 right now.
I'll say, what are we down to?
Held for the week. So,
yay.
Unlike the stock market, we held even. Hopefully we can hold that for a few more weeks. 114. Unfortunately, we can't go up. Unlike the stock market, we can only go down.
We can only rebound.
Go down. Yeah. No. But we're still holding at 114 US.
Yeah. And sad, we were talking about this before the show. So, Angie, how many are there in North Dakota?
Not a one.
Not a one.
And in the state to the south of you, how many?
One, right? Yeah.
Just one. So 2 states, there's just one.
Yeah.
Just one.
That's rough.
We feel for you guys and gals. There aren't many. I mean, 114.
And really, if you look at a U.S. map, California and Seattle on the West Coast, that's a good 10, 15% of them right there.
Right.
So if you're not in that part of the country, you're not getting a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
Go get the ones you can.
Yeah, get them. They're going to be gone. And unless they do a special thing, like
you don't want
the virtuals.
Yep. You don't want this to become the block party or the lost and found or whatever icon that you can look on your stats and just stare at and go, I can never get that.
No.
I can never get that icon ever.
And we're all icon hunters. Don't even lie. I don't care. Right. You want to get at least one of everything, fill it out. You may not have 1,000 of them, but you want one of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's true. You got something to bring us that you heard about, or
Yeah.
what's the story on this?
I was catching up on the other podcast. I listen to the other podcast just like most of us do, the geocaching
love 'em.
podcasts.
Yep,
And
we love them. We love them all.
the more information I can get, the better, right? And
Yep.
I happened to hear, because I was catching up because I've been so busy lately, Land Monkey threw out a challenge to all the podcasters, the geocaching podcasters.
Land Monkey. Oh.
Yeah. So he called everybody out saying that you can't be a good geocaching podcaster if you don't also find geocaches.
That's true. I
Hard
agree
to
with
argue with that. But he
no,
put a number to
that's
it.
100% absolute.
He put a number to it. So he said for the year,
right,
he challenges every podcaster to get 1,000 geocaches this year.
Now that may be a little steep.
I felt like it was one of those, like, you know, in the old movies where they take the gloves off and they're like, pow, 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 and slap you in the face. You got to go for it after that. So,
yeah, he's challenged us. So,
yeah. So that's rough. So I had to jump out and grab some caches this morning before I mentioned that. And I was able to get 62 today. So,
sweet.
I'm on my way. I'm moving there. So,
what's your rate this year? Have you looked at your rate? I'm at least one a day, but I got to do more. I got to do 3 a day to get to 900. So, or, you know, I got to get my average per day is going to have to it's going to have to spike.
I'm at 17.46 right now.
Yeah. You're way above the,
yeah. But I went out on a big trip recently. So I'm at 873 for the year.
Yeah.
So,
you're blowing it.
But it won't be like that every day. That's because I just came off of a big trip. Right.
But, something to point out. So Land Monkey saying that, you know, our show has more caches. Our hosts have more caches than any other show.
Look at that. Now it's a side bet already.
No, I'm just saying that.
Let's say an average for the podcast, not just 1,000.
Us combined.
I like it. I like it. No.
You know,
us there's combined. Only one. So this is a real challenge too, right? Because everybody finds caches, but we know out of the shows who finds the most, right? Land Monkey finds over 2,000 every year.
Oh, right.
And then Scott finds like 8 billion. So he skews the average too. But that'd be interesting to also get a little show competition going on, maybe average it out. So.
Oh, right. See, based on per host kind of thing. Yeah.
Because you pretty much cashed out your area, but I still have tons that I can go within an hour or
so. And see, that's the thing is all I need to do, and we can do some planning, but I can get a bunch if I really want to just go for numbers. And I'm not a numbers guy, but
if you really want to, you've been challenged.
Yes, I know. I've been
Canadians.
I've had a thrown down. During the Olympics.
You're gonna back down from a Canadian challenge?
No.
There's like nationalistic pride now. You got to go for it. You're in Texas, and you're gonna back down from a Canadian. They're gonna boot you out of Texas. I think that's against the law down there.
Okay. All right.
Just trying to prod you a little bit. There you go.
Yeah, I know.
I think that was a friendly competition. I don't think he's not talking smack or anything. It's really a friendly competition. So anything that says competition on it, sign my name.
Oh yeah, you're in. I love what's going on in the chat room. It's pretty funny. Adventures with Dan, he had 520 his best day. I'm like 520. Oh my gosh,
that is a lot.
Jerry, Janice, he's like 1,000 per podcast. I like that idea because I got a host that's got over 800, so I'm good at that.
We're almost done. It's February.
Yeah, Power Trails and Tick Magnet got me. You can do it, Gary. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna get close. I'm gonna try my best, but
that's only about like 80 a month or something. Considering you're going to the Giga this year, probably you're gonna get tons while you're there. So.
Yeah, it's the trick though is again, you used to average 3 a day. There you go. That's enough, right? Yeah, that's enough.
Just go out and play on the weekends and you're good.
165 times 3, something like that. So yeah, you'd be there. So you could average 3 a month.
Look at the medal standings right now. Canada has more medals than the U.S. Just to be clear, I was joking about that part because Land Monkey is up in Canada. I was not serious about any of that stuff. I was messing with Gary. So before,
I understand.
I'm not trying to alienate anybody. I was just joking about that part.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get some hate mail.
No. No.
But
never
if
fit.
you are going to send me hate mail from Canada, throw in some of those cool chocolate eggs.
Absolutely. The wowies.
And I'll
that we
take all
can't-
the hate mail you can send me. What are those
that we
things?
can't- Wowies.
No. They got another.
No, the chocolate eggs.
Yeah, with the little candies inside. I mean, the little
Like
toys
Kinder
inside.
eggs?
little toys.
Kinder eggs.
Kinder eggs, also called. I think they're called Wowies too, but
The legit ones, I think, are called. You can't have them.
yeah, no, you can't. That's right. Those are the because
Kinder
they're
eggs.
so
Yeah.
Kinder eggs. It's so, because they think that Americans will just eat them, which they probably will, and just choke on it, even though it says that it's got something inside of it. Like whatever, I'm just gonna eat it.
In fairness, we're eating it with a 72-ounce cola. So, all
Right.
right, we're way off topic.
That's okay. Quick note: I put in the show notes, and I got to fix the show note deal. So yes, I'm aware. I had a website break. Our website crashed, and so I had to get it back going. And so the thing that got axed for the moment was the show notes. Well, I'll get those working again. But when the show notes are back up, you will see a website called geocachingcentral.com that Nancy of the Deadliest Cachers provided. And it's pretty slick. Go check it out, geocachingcentral.com. And I like it. There's a lot of cool stuff in there. Podcasters, bloggers, right, Angie?
Mm-hmm.
Vloggers. There's a lot of cool resources. So she's doing great.
I haven't had a chance to explore that one yet, but it looks really neat. So I can't wait to do that later tonight.
Yeah, very cool. And one of the sites I want to send her to add to that is a Norwegian podcast that you and I, Jesse, were kind of part of. We're sort of like a sister podcast. They asked us some questions and we gave them some advice, and they started a podcast, Geopod. I don't know how to pronounce this.
I think you have to try though.
Norway, Norge. Norge? It's
sure.
Geopod, Norge. There you go.
They're laughing at us right now.
Yes, they are. Our Norwegian buddies and friends are laughing at us. I listened to some of it. It's in Norwegian, so I only listened for a little bit, but I was pretty impressed with the beginning. And emailed him back and told him, that we would mention it. And so, yay, go Norway. Woohoo! They got a podcast out there now. So, all right. You guys take the next one to tell us about this. Angie, when did you learn about this thing that's next?
Well, I first saw the announcement on Twitter. I think the geo vlogger, Joshua.
Yep.
I think he tweeted about it, and I was like, oh, what is this? So instantly I followed the link, and I went to their website, and there's just a countdown running.
Right.
What does it say? I don't remember.
Oh, yeah. You can go check that right now. It's counting down.
Mm-hmm.
And
I don't know about you guys, but I went to Google right away, and I started searching a bunch of space-related things. What's going on? What's geocaching partnering with? Right. And there's just too many options.
Yeah.
I didn't know who to follow or what it might be.
Yeah. I'm going to pull up Planetary Space right now.
Maybe they're giving away a Tesla.
There you go. You can, if you can go get it, it's up there.
It's free for the taking. All you got to do is just get there.
It's free right now, right? I mean, I don't think you can go grab it and bring it back to Earth. Nobody's going to say anything, I don't think. But 28 days, 9 hours, 40 minutes, 55 seconds in countdown until liftoff. #Planetary Pursuit. That's all we got. And a lot of funny, cheesy jokes from geocaching.com.
What? So, no way.
What? They wouldn't do that. Yeah, they were having fun with it. So
we're going to have to get the scoop.
Yeah, I've tried. We're trying. We don't score yet with that. But, I think the podcast should get a little love. Give us at least an hour update before everybody else or something. I don't know.
Or even some teaser hints to put out there.
Yeah.
Even if they don't give us the true answer, give us some clues.
I like that idea. Mm-hmm. All right, let's get into the show topic, which is Angie. We're going to talk about you tonight. No, we're going to talk about a lot of stuff. So, yeah. Tell us about yourself.
Talking about secrets, mysteries.
Yeah. I feel like it'd be like James Lipton. All right, tell us your first time that you went to a geocache. No. Let's start with an announcement. How about that? The announcement. We're going to do it right in the middle of the show. So here's the announcement. We have talked to Angie, and we have come to an agreement that she is going to be now a affiliate of Geocache Talk. Yay!
Those sound effects.
I know. I'll add it. I might add it later. Yeah. I'll add some applause. So kind of like Sodak Zach is an affiliate with us. He's our man at the cache. We just felt like Angie, it was ready. Was a match that we needed with you being part of the team.
Very exciting.
We now have the Dakotas covered.
Well, yeah, that wasn't meant to be like that on purpose. It just happened. So
it's all part of our secret evil plot.
Secret evil plot. No, there's no. Didn't happen like that. But yeah. So, and we'll talk about here in a minute about the blog. But yeah. So Angie's going to kind of be we'll task her with some different things for the show, but she's now an affiliate. We've got now this is part of our evil plan, right, Jesse? Our evil Geocache Talk network.
You're going to give away our secret world domination plan. Okay, go ahead.
We're building, yes. We're building, putting the fingers together. Yes, we're building. So I think we've mentioned this before, but I want to mention again real quick the fact that we are trying to build, and we have now the good start of a Geocache Talk network. And what I mean by network is it's more than just the podcast. Mm-hmm. We have books. We've got blogs now. We have a great, and we had a blog before. We really appreciate Sarah helping us get that going. But we have a blog, that's being ramped up even further. We've got videos. Sodak Zach's putting a lot of his videos out there on the website. He does our little man at the cache, which I like. No other show's doing that. As we say,
his show is taking off pretty well too.
Yeah, he's doing great with that. Kind of as we say, we can do what the other podcasts do, but the other podcasts, they can't do what we're doing. So there you go.
Well, and I think, geocaching is more than just a podcast. People consume media in all different ways. And just like Treasure or anything that's on TV, we're interested in all that, how it's represented in all media. So we're going to try to bring all of that. When there's another movie or there's another TV show, we'll definitely be covering all that because it's interesting to us. We like to see how our game/addiction is covered in the public.
Sport. Yep.
How it's portrayed to those Muggle people.
We got some drum rolls, some people clapping in the chat room. So appreciate you guys being there and being part of that. All right, in fact, let's talk about the blog. Sarah kind of got us going. We're more. Jesse, you've done a blog before, right?
Mm-hmm. I've done some in the past, yeah.
So you were familiar with it, and that's kind of why we wanted to really get it going again. And so she kind of helped us out, but we passed the reins over to Angie. Go ahead. What are you going to say?
Well, we don't want this to be the Gary and Jesse show, right? A network can't be two people. We want some different voices. If it's just us droning on and then writing about us droning on, that's not going to be that fun. So it'd just be us getting off topic on a blog, right?
Right. Perfect.
So I think it's great that we're getting to that you're coming on and you're adding to that, and it's going to be different voice because there's so many different people out there doing geocaching. They don't want to have just the only two people. I think it's bigger than that. So I think you're a great addition to it. You're doing great things with it. So we can't wait to hear what you're going to do with it.
Yeah. So I have a blog too, and I don't think people want to just hear all my thoughts. If you want, you can look at my blog too to read, but I really want to hear everyone's stories or perspectives, if they're doing something unique in their community, like if they're hiding certain kind of caches or maybe they're doing something to work with a school or any like little stories that they'd like to share, I think, let us know and we'll work together. I mean, I'm here. I can help you structure it, or I can just, proof edit it. Whatever you really need help with, I'm here.
Right. Absolutely.
Well, I think that's important because everybody has stories, right? Mm-hmm. Again, like we've talked about before, and kind of the theme of the whole thing has been not everybody wants to start a geocaching blog because they don't have enough to do it all the time, but they have one or two good stories they want to share every once in a while, or they don't want the responsibility for doing it all the time. It takes a lot of effort to keep a blog going and to keep interesting stories. You're not just going to write a story. Hey, I found a cache today. Thanks. That was my story. Yeah. But there are some interesting stories out there, and everybody's heard those when you go to events, but it's fun to share those because we all kind of, even if we haven't experienced the exact thing, we've experienced something similar. So sharing those stories is good.
Yeah. I like your note you put in the show notes just now about another item for media, and one of our sponsors, which is FTF Magazine, FTF Geocacher. You need to go, if you're not subscribing to FTF Magazine, you need to, because it's really, really cool. And I can't believe you're not, because this thing is neat. I mean, it's got great stories. It's another media item. There's always a little help with puzzles. In case you're wondering, with Electric Water Boy, which he'll be on the show next week. So
that's I haven't seen him in the chat room tonight, though.
I know, that's weird.
He's always here.
He's usually around sometimes, but when he can. So that's another way to consume some geocaching media. So I like that.
But it is all part of the big geocaching universe. So
yeah, definitely. Books. Well, what do you know? I've got.
What? Are there books about geocaching?
Books. So
no books about geocaching.
There is. So there's, of course, the first one that I did. Well, not the first book. First book. Hey, look, you got that.
Oh, look, there's a copy.
There's a copy. Hide and seek.
Did you do another one too, Gary?
I did. I did this one, which working on a sequel. 201 geocaches to find before you die.
That didn't sound cheesy at all, did it?
And it sounded extremely cheesy. Hey, me at Mingo. What do you call it?
There you go.
And then there's this new book I got. Picked it up from Amazon. Sophie Finds a Geocache.
Who could that possibly be?
Angela?
Who could have written that?
What?
Oh, you got the same book I do.
That's a lovely book.
Well, speaking of this book, Angie, you wrote this book.
Yeah. So my mom's the great illustrator too.
Oh, is she the? Okay, that's cool.
In case you were curious.
I was curious. Yay. Yes, it's really good.
Yeah.
I loved it. I really did. Not just because you're on the show and all that. I liked it. You did a great job. It's a good story. It's go ahead.
The idea behind it was so I give a lot of presentations, or I do workshop classes with people, and then they come up afterwards and they're like, this sounds like a great family activity. And you kind of get that feeling that, okay, how can you connect these parents who really want to geocache with their kids, and then getting their kids to understand what geocaching is before they go out? Right. So I thought it would be a good learning tool.
Oh, yeah.
Before they start. And me and my mom just wanted to write a book together, so we thought it would be fun.
There you go. That's fun. Yeah. No, that's a great idea. And this particular copy is going to
me.
No.
Oh, not me.
No.
Okay.
No, you have to get your own. This copy is going to Susan because she's going to take it she teaches a pre-K class. Well, she has actually different ages. So she's going to take this with her and do this with the kids. Not the pre-Ks, but she does them all the way up to 4th grade, I think. So she's got lots of different age groups that she's going to deal with. But
that's cool.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Is it geocaching accurate? Because in the chat room, Curiosity Girl said she was reading a geocaching book, and in the first chapter, the geocache was buried.
Yeah.
Unless you stop reading. Now, technically, you could do that now, but not when that book was out. So.
Oh, don't. By the way, don't stop reading that book. That's a good book, by the way. She knows the lady that I've had her on the show.
Yeah.
But she knows she made a mistake. But keep reading the book, Curiosity
And
Girl. That's
technically now, it's legal again.
Yeah, well, or is it? I think they changed the rules yet again.
I can't even keep up with it. They changed it.
I know. They changed it again.
They're just going to put the rules on Snapchat now instead of on their website just to keep changing them. You did
really good. I mean, she's got like even like showing like what the
wow.
She's got the whole thing.
I have to show you my favorite.
For the audio listeners, Gary is showing a picture
of not really good for audio right
now. Simplified GPS screen or a phone
GPS screen. Show us what screen you like. Which one?
My favorite picture is my mom did one of the Western Meadowlark.
Oh,
she did a really good job. Looks like a Western Meadowlark.
The Western Meadowlark, the state bird of North Dakota.
Yeah. There's a hidden scavenger hunt inside the book about geocaching. It has all the state symbols in it.
Oh, so you can figure out what all the state symbols are. That's cool.
Hopefully.
Yeah, that's very cool.
That's exactly right up Geocacher's alley. Is a game inside a secret game inside a book.
And there's a tracking code in there. So make sure you don't show them that page.
No, don't show them that page. You gotta go get that one yourself. But
I've only had, I think, 2 people discover it so far. So I don't know if they know it's in there.
I could look closely. I think I might see it now. Let's see. Maybe not. I don't know. I'll have to do some digging. So cool. Very cool. So go pick this book up. We have the link. Also, you can go out to our website, which includes Angie now, and we have put the book on the website. So you can go to geocache.talk/books, and you can go to the link that way and pick up the book. So pick you up a copy. So, speaking of the Dakotas, we have a lot of fans in the Dakotas, and we love our fans that are in the Dakotas. But I have some questions, Angie, because I'm curious. I'm very
curious. See if I know the answers.
Right. Of course, one I asked before. Pop quiz. So one I asked earlier, I wasn't being serious, but I had fun asking you this question, which is, can you tell if somebody's from North Dakota or South Dakota? And you're like, what? Based on their dialect? Or so there's no real. I mean, you guys kind of meld together, but is there any kind of? I'm sure there's friendly rivalries, but is there anything about the difference between North Dakota and South Dakota? I don't know about North Carolina, South Carolina. If anybody knows anything about the different,
I don't know a ton. I think the main thing I know, my dad thinks South Dakota is a good place to retire.
Oh, really? Okay.
That's about it.
Not Florida. Not Arizona.
We have some good rivalries in North Dakota, like between Fargo and Grand Forks, the colleges.
Oh, okay.
But I don't have anything against any South Dakotans.
Okay. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Now, one thing we talked about before the show, which I didn't know this, and Jesse did some research on, which is there is a difference geocaching-wise, right? As far as the number. There are. Did you look up did you look up the South Dakota, Jesse? I know you looked up North Dakota.
I did. I looked up a few different stats. Which one are you talking about?
Just the total number of caches that are in North Dakota versus South Dakota.
Well, Angie, you knew North Dakota, right?
Mm-hmm. We have a geocacher here that's been keeping a chart. Glowworm.
Right.
I think she might be in the chat. But right now we're at 2,741, and our goal for the year is 3,000.
So South Dakota has got you beat by a little bit.
Just a little?
They're under 10.
Under 10?
Under 10,000.
Oh, okay.
Now they have 9,181 active caches right now. That's a lot. Yeah.
That's quite a few.
One step at a time. One step at a time. But it's got to be different. So if you only have 3,000 in your state, there's like 3,000 in Denver.
You can't find all of those. 3,000, right? I mean, isn't that the goal? It's to find all the caches in your state.
Oh my gosh.
I think it's find all the caches, period, right? Isn't that the goal of the game?
Yeah.
But that's got to make it harder, though, right? You can't just go down the street and get 300 in a day. That's 10% of your state. You're gonna have to travel probably a little bit to get a lot of the caches, right?
Yeah, I think I'm at about an hour and a half to 45. I mean, there's a couple 45 minutes away, but they're not winter friendly.
Oh, so that's the other thing you got to watch for.
Isn't it winter there like 11 months out of the year or something?
Right now, it definitely is winter.
Yeah, we were looking at that earlier.
Stir crazy.
Is it still? It's probably less now, right, Angie? It was 4 degrees earlier.
Oh, I'm sure. Let's look.
Ours is definitely gone down. I'm down to 61 degrees here in.
Oh man, Texas, a whole 60 degrees warmer than us.
Hey!
Oh my god!
She's got one. You're number one.
Yay!
In Williston, North Dakota. So.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And I will point out, she's only got, what do we say, 7 Waragos in the whole state?
That's right.
Probably should consider moving. Nothing out there.
I posted something about how I was telling my husband I think we should move because there's not enough geocaches. And I think some people have. I think that's a solid argument.
Right.
That's funny. That's like the reverse tourism argument, right? Like the ad you wouldn't see on TV. Right. Move out of South Dakota. I mean, move out of North Dakota. We don't have very many geocaches.
How far? Where it goes?
How far are you from the border of South Dakota? Just out of curiosity.
Approximately. Oh, I'd have to look. I think it's a few hours, maybe 3, 2 to.
Oh, okay. Are you closer to Canada? Closer to Canada?
Mm-hmm. Right in the corner.
Oh, okay. So you're up there. So you're closer to Montana then, right?
Mm-hmm. So I go to Montana quite a bit.
Oh, okay.
So Gary, we may have to rethink the show. I'm looking at those 7 Waragos, and none of them have her name on it.
No.
Well, she's going to
own any of those.
She'll get there.
Okay.
That's a summer. That's a summer trip.
No. I mean, owning one of those.
Oh
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Let alone find them.
We'll have to talk about that offline.
Right.
We may have to vote her back off the island if she doesn't put one of those out there.
Yeah. Crazy.
We pressured Gary until he finally put another one out.
Yeah, I did. I got one out right now. I love it because it's a reverse where I go, and it's been found twice. That's it. Probably, you know how many finds it'll have in a year? Probably
at least 4.
4. Let's hope. But it's cool. It's a reverse where I go. Come on, folks. Come over here and find this reverse where I go because they're cool. Anyway, all right. So I dug this up, Angie. So you're gonna have to explain this because I found this trolling around on stuff. Wasn't creepy or anything, but I did find this cryptic container. Cryptics containers are so cool. You wrote this. The first one I found was blown up by the cops because they thought it was suspicious, but I solved it and logged it first. What in the world?
The goal. You got to find the geocaches before they blow them up.
That's sad that a Cryptex was blown up too.
Yeah, it was when I was over in Grand Forks for college. It was by a soccer field, hidden in a tree hole. It was a pipe, homemade pipe Cryptex. So it just had the letters out front, and you had to solve the code.
Yeah, you can't do that. You can't have a PVC pipe. That's getting blown up.
Unfortunately. I mean, that guy's a really good cache hider. Try Cassius. I think he might be in there.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
People are so paranoid nowadays. Like, who wants to put a bomb on a tree? Nobody does. You don't blow up trees, right?
So that's the famous one that Cassius had. Mm-hmm. We talked about that on Cache and Release way back. So
long time ago.
Right. Which funny though, I thought it was a completely different, a whole different. It's the exact same one, and you found that one.
Yeah.
A small world. Mm-hmm. Chad says it was very colorful. I guess that didn't help.
No.
It's too bad because they could just pull up the app, you know? I feel like it should be well known enough that maybe police officers would know.
It is, and most of them do know about it now. There are some places that don't. I don't know how long ago that was, but
it's been a while. And I know that I know that after that, Chad told me that they had some talks about them. And then, and Jesse, you, did you, when you were police officer, thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Did you guys, did you have any discussions about that?
Yeah, we did. And the police department that I worked for towards the end, now, and I've said before, the first police department I worked for, when somebody told me about it, I'd been an officer for years. And somebody goes, "Hey, there's this game where people are hiding stuff all over your city." And I was like, "No, you're lying." They didn't know anything about it. I knew nothing about it. But that was a long time ago, right? But more recently, out here and where I live now and where I retired from, there was one at the police station, and people knew about it. But I've even gotten a call since I've retired, and they asked, just because I can pull it up a lot quicker than they can usually. They ask, "Hey, do you know anything about this one over in the park?" And sometimes they can get confusing because people put them in the wrong location, so they're not where they're supposed to be. So they're not on the app. And it can cause some problems. But they don't just go and blow stuff up now. They generally try to look. They know about the game and everything else. So even though they really want to blow them up because it's a lot more fun that way. I'm just going to tell you.
Get some planning in. Somebody asked, and I don't know, Angie, if you know this question, if you know the answer to this question, but Houston, Texas Dave asked about art. Are there any geo art in North Dakota and South Dakota?
I'm not sure. South Dakota, I don't think we do in North Dakota. I went to the GIF event in Dickinson, and they were talking about creating one of those stars.
Oh, yeah.
Are there stars in other states? I wasn't sure how many stars are in how many states, but
they're trying to get them in all 50.
Someone's in the works of creating one of those.
Oh, cool. Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
And Anthony in the chat room says, South Dakota is warmer. Yeah, right.
Yep.
Compared to North Dakota, it's warmer.
It is. It's crazy.
Probably 2 degrees down there tonight versus 1 degree.
I know that South Dakota does have some smaller arts because I've seen them before.
Right.
Where it's like Geocache or something like that.
And they have the
I don't remember exactly now, but
right. And Eric told us about there's the border is not really art, but it
looks like art to me because it's a big long line of puzzle caches, so that's pretty awesome. It's like 500 something of them.
Right.
Straight line can be an art, depends on what your talent is, right?
Right.
Tracing the state, so that could be art, I guess.
That's an art.
Yeah.
I hear.
She just got home.
I hear her.
That's the littlest cacher in your house.
She is. She'll have to make an appearance at some point because I know Mudak or somebody was wanting to have her on the show briefly. But
Eric said South Dakota has one that spells geocaching, and they also have the star also.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Tick Magnet. North and South Dakota share the best reviewer. Well, how about that?
We have a really good one.
That's good.
He's so fast.
Oh, that's good. That's important.
Sometimes it's minutes. I think I had a cache published in like 2 minutes.
Is.
Oh.
Hey.
There's the littlest affiliate.
Sophia.
There she is.
Can you say hi?
Sophie, right?
Sophia.
Sophia.
But some people call her Sophie too.
Sophia. Hi, Sophia.
You say hi?
Hi. How are you?
Not about bedtime.
Oh, yes. Yep.
I brought her a geocache.
Oh, cool.
Look at it, geocache. You got to train them young.
That's right. Well, she's famous. She's already got a book written about her.
Yeah.
She does. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Look. She probably likes Geocoin.
John comes back.
Look. Geocoin.
Ooh.
Cool.
Treasure.
Geocoin. Treasures.
Well, Eric in the chat room said they're working on a pheasant that will be 100 Waragos. So apparently you need to move to South Dakota.
She's close. Well, not
You're
really.
close enough.
That's really cool.
Got a lot of little trinkets here I can show her.
So that's your famous geocacher there, and you're already training her to go geocaching, huh?
We haven't done too much. We've carried her to a lot of geocaches, but she hasn't really found one yet.
Well,
So
she's there
this year. Gotta set some goals.
If she's there and you sign the log, it seems like she's found them to me.
Yeah,
that's part of the family team.
I think so.
You did a cash pants dance with her one time. She seemed pretty happy about that.
Mm-hmm.
So, is she, or is your plan to do an account for her, or are you?
Right now we have a trackable, so her trackable goes with us, and then we visit the caches that she goes to.
Smart.
And I'm not sure about the account. It's kind of like when you get your kid a cell phone. I feel like when you have their own account.
Well, that's the hard thing too when you're caching with kids is, do you log all their caches for them? Do you let them log them? Do you just do the trackable thing like you're doing? As she gets older. Mine are a little older now, but we've been doing it for the last 6 years or so, and so they'll go in and out. Sometimes they'll go and they want to log them themselves, or sometimes they don't want to pay attention to it. So, at what point do you get them that actual account of their own?
Yeah.
We've been caching long enough that my daughter is now an adult. So
right, that's true.
She's technically an adult now. So
yeah, what'll be interesting to know is, will she keep it going, and when she gets to college, or you think she'll? Both of y'all, you think you'll? Well, you don't know. I mean, I know for me personally, since I have somebody who was in college, and of the all three of them went through college. Really, only one geocaches. But what's weird about that is that when he geocaches, he signs every log, every geocache he finds, he signs the log, but he doesn't electronically log them. So
I've heard of that though. Some people do it that way. They don't really care about the online version. They just care about playing it, and they're casual and don't worry too much about it.
Yeah, and he signs the log. He figures that's what you're supposed to do.
Trying to leave the room.
She's trying. She's coming back though.
She's used to the fame. There's books written about her. She wants to be on podcasts now.
I think she's probably getting pretty cranky.
That time of the night when it gets that time. All right. Well, let me ask you a little bit about, and Jesse will too as well. But you have been caching since 2006.
I wish. 2012.
No, sorry. I'm sorry. I meant 2012. I don't know why I said 2006. It was in my brain. That's when I started caching, was 2006. So 2012. What are your thoughts then? Now that it's been a few years, what are some of your thoughts about how it's gone for you as far as your finds and stuff? And
I really love it. I feel like it's one of those things you think you get sick of it after a while. You know, when you try to describe it to someone, you're like, why do I like this?
Right.
But like the basic definition. But I really love how it has shown us some hikes that we never would have found, and just given us something to do, a reason to get outside, a way to, plan your trips, all of that.
Do you find that it changes over time, like what you're currently interested in? We kind of talk about this every once in a while on the show, and everybody does, right? But kind of from time to time, it changes what aspect of it you're interested in.
To a degree. I haven't quite the statistics of it. I feel like I'm not quite into that yet, but I feel like I'm not able to, when people talk about streaks and finding different like fizzy grids and jasmers, like eventually I feel like I'm just going to accomplish it. Like I hope so. Like if you know what I mean? So to take a trip,
absolutely.
I have to take trips just to find geocaches. So then to take trips to find things that fit descriptions of, what kind of geocaches, that seems really difficult right now. Just in our life, with Sophia, it's hard to You do take her with, or do you try to bring her, or, But I think right now I want to work towards the Delorme and the county challenges. Those
very cool.
Possible.
That is fun. Well, and you know what? You may never, because different people are into different things. You may never get in deep into the statistics. I know people that don't. One of the cachers in our state has found tons of caches, but he doesn't care much about. He just wants to find a bunch of caches or whatever. And he's found caches all over the world, but he's not working on a bunch of those other challenges. And I think everybody is into different things, and the county, that's fun too, because you do it as a family. So it's about the road trips, it's about the day trips and stuff. And I think it's wide enough spread that you don't have to get into. You don't ever have to do Jasmer at all, or be even interested in that. It's not like I'm a real cacher now because I've done Jasmer. You can cache for years and just enjoy those, getting out with the family and going to the local park or going to the next county over. I think.
I'm working on 1,000 right now. I have.
See, there you go.
18
Perfect.
More to find.
You're close.
So
that's a big milestone coming up then.
Make sure
I think spring break.
Yep. Take a piece of paper, put number 1,000 and do the whole deal, because that's fun.
Yeah.
It's always fun to do that. Whereas, and remember it, don't do like Jesse did when he was down with me for 5,000. We forgot to take the picture.
Oh, man.
You remember that, Jesse?
Did it really happen?
That was the Jasmer, wasn't it?
No, well, that in 5, I think it was that.
That was the same one, though, wasn't it?
It was the same one.
Yeah, we broadcast it, so people saw it happen, but I think we forgot to take a picture. So
we got pictures. I got pictures, but
no, we had a picture,
but not with the little piece of paper. All.
No, we forgot the piece of paper. I carried it all the way around and everything else. We got there and we got so excited, and we did Periscope or something for that one.
Yeah,
and
that's the crazy 30-minute. We didn't know what we were doing.
We got all distracted and we totally forgot the paper.
But we found it. I was worried about that one for a while because I'm thinking, oh my God.
That would have been an epic fail.
We looked for a while.
Yeah, we did.
So your wife goes, did you guys read the cache description? Oh, I guess we should do that.
And it was like a 1.5 or something. It wasn't even.
But it wasn't.
It was there.
But it wasn't a GZ. So don't give us a hard time. It was not a GZ. It was deliberately not a GZ. You had to. It was sort of like a puzzle in a sense. You had to read a poem. You had to interpret what the poem said to figure out where the cache was, and we were able to do that. But
part of the poem,
and
one of the objects wasn't even there.
Yes, part of it.
So, in fairness, it was kind of tricky, but
it was.
Do you have one picked out for your 1,000?
I don't know if it's quite that memorable. I don't know if we're gonna make it really special. We want to go back to Grand Forks since that's where we started, and we might just pick one we haven't found yet. I don't think there's too many, so I don't know.
Well,
it's still pretty neat though. 1,000, your first 1,000 that's a pretty big milestone.
Mm-hmm.
If you can, try to find one that means something to you guys.
I know.
There you are, Jesse.
A few new ones since we've been over there last.
There you go. There, I'm showing there you are.
Oh yeah. We found it, but we forgot that should have been the little photo.
Nice.
Photo Gary showing us. I'm holding an ammo can, but it should have been a paper that said
That's right.
5,000.
Oh well.
Whoops.
We found
I guess I could have photoshopped it in, right?
We could have. You still can. But
yeah. I'm gonna go back and do it now. No.
Yeah, you've moved on. You've moved on. So like you mentioned earlier, it's like that's really, you and I are very similar in the fact that right now, I mean, I'm still after all these years, I'm still intrigued by the fact that there's something hidden at a coordinate. So I'm still a kid at heart, I guess. And a lamppost skirt to me there's something underneath here. It shows it is. There it is. Hey, I found it. Woohoo. So I always tell people, don't lose the love. And we've had people on who talk about, and Jesse, you've talked about this, where if you don't want to do a long streak where you're trying to do a cache every day for a year or whatever, then don't do them, because you might get burned out and you're going to lose the love of this great sport. So, I mean, I mean, you've talked about Jesse. It's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe. I mean, because you finally did you eventually break that streak, or are you all still going?
Oh no, we did our year streak and that was it. We I think we took like a month off after that. I don't know,
Right,
but
you just need to decompress from that whole
yeah, we
thing.
wanted to do it. Once we got so far in, we decided we're gonna finish it. But it got to be habit after a while. But there was a time there where like I don't want to go find a cache today, you know.
Right.
But it was kind of we're kind of stubborn, so we went ahead and did it anyway.
Right.
But caching in a streak is not for me. It's not for our family. We don't really like it. We did it one time just to accomplish that goal, and we were all happy about it when we did it. But that's not our style by any means. I don't want to feel like I have to do something. It's fun for us. It's a fun family activity. So that wouldn't, you know, and like you're talking about, you're going to your 1,000 coming up, but numbers is not everything when it comes to it. And you've contributed other things and been involved in other things. You got your family involved. You do a blog, and you wrote a book. That's more than people with 10,000 finds normally do, right? Nobody does that. You've already done all those things already. So, I think there's just so many things out there to it. We did the blog thing for a while, and our family loved doing it, but we couldn't sustain it, right? We did it for a while, and it wasn't our thing. But, yeah, it's just whatever you're into at the time. It's supposed to be fun, you're not supposed to feel like it's an obligation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's something I think too. Like you're talking about, Jesse, is it may change over time. I mean, and that's perfectly okay. I mean, maybe you want to work on challenges. Maybe you don't. Maybe you're interested in challenges now, but you might be interested in challenges later.
Right.
Yeah. You know, so you're like he said, you're contributing in so many ways right now to the rest of us. I mean, you're finding cool things. There was a cool thing I saw today. I actually post. I think it was today. The weekend always blurs for me, but you posted about a 3D cache on a sign.
Yeah.
That was cool. In fact, I shared that with my little Motley caching crew, and I'm like, okay, guys, you might see this in the future. And they're like, oh, great. We got to find that thing. But it's really cool. So tell us a little bit about that one, because obviously I'm not doing a good job of explaining that one.
3D caches. I found one about 45 minutes away. There's a town here. There's a guy who owns 4 3D printers, right? That's so cool.
That's cool.
And they were making them, and they've placed a few. And I took a picture and put it on Instagram. And then Geocaching with Lampy, a guy over in France, is like, hey, I want to make you some. And I have one. But
oh, yeah. Show that.
Cryptics, right? I'm sure these are the more popular ones. And I've seen some where they nest inside each other. And I got one of those too.
Oh, cool.
But
yes.
So I started looking around online, and I went to Etsy or Etsy. I know people say it differently.
Etsy.
Etsy.
Yeah, we're making it official tonight. It's Etsy.
Okay, Etsy. Okay. And I found that one. It's like a little, you put it on the top of a signpost, and then you slide it, and it fits a bison tube in it. So
very cool.
A muggle, I don't think would ever, I mean, you wouldn't look there, right?
No, because it fits. It fits right in the signpost frame, and so you can't even really see it unless you know it. I mean, unless you're really obviously searching for it. But
and you could be mean, because I went around town looking for a signpost that didn't have the screws too close to the top because it has to fit in there. And the ones that kept sticking out were the ones that are really high. I'm like, I bet that, if you had a ladder, you just put a bunch of them up in those.
There you go. It's good thinking.
Be mean. Or nice. Likes that.
I like mean.
Yeah.
I put out a very mean cache that I don't normally do. I don't normally do mean caches, and I put out a couple mean caches recently because I was in the mood, and they were tough for people to find. So they were difficult. Some people have found them. A lot of people have DNF'd them, but I don't do those often. But I'm like Jesse. Once in a while, you got to have one out there. If you don't have one in your area, I don't believe in a lot of them, but I think that otherwise you end up like Jesse and I. We're on a railroad trestle, which we probably shouldn't have been on.
Oh my gosh, that was awesome though. That was the most fun I've had not finding a cache.
That's your favorite.
My favorite DNF.
DNF was on that crazy trestle over a gorge. So it's like,
yeah, it was a little iffy.
It was a little iffy for sure. And some of the boards were gone. Some of the railroad ties were gone. So you had to kind of jump over. It was a little dicey.
A little mean.
Railroad ties in there, yeah.
It was because
good distance up too.
We're pulling on railroad spikes, and not a single one of those stupid things would come out because it was supposed to be in a railroad spike. And I'm yanking on railroad spikes. I'm going. At the time, I wasn't having fun, but now I think it was fun. I don't know. Was it fun, Jesse? You got to tell me if it was fun or not.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
It'd been great if we found it.
Oh, but it was awesome.
Fun. I had more fun with that DNF than I've had with several smileys. Several unimaginative smileys. That was more fun than just walking up. Yeah. So that was a lot of fun.
That one's archived.
We thought we might die. That's always a good time.
Right.
It's memorable.
Yeah. He archived that one too, by the way. So apparently it really was gone. So we just had fun, but couldn't find it. It wasn't going to be there anyway. So, so now again, you've done this for a little bit. What do you feel like that if you could tell geocaching.com something, and we usually, Jess and I usually pass along stuff. I'm sure they're tired of us mentioning stuff. Although we did get virtuals to come back. That was
that was all us.
So apparently they're listening.
Really good at pestering them.
Right. Must be. We did a whole show on why virtuals could come back, and woohoo, they came back.
Yeah,
temporarily. So is there anything that now that you've done this for a little while, is there anything that comes to mind that you wish that geocaching.com would add or change?
Or get rid of, like Earth caches.
Right. Now.
I was going to add that really fast.
More hate mail.
I think I'm going to get my first international Earth cache souvenir this year. So.
Very cool.
But I was thinking about this. I saw this in the notes, and well, first off, I feel like I didn't realize how small of a group that they have to do everything. So I think it's really important for everyone to get premium memberships before.
Yes.
Because my thing that I would really wish that they add was more to do with workshops. So like being able to educate people, even if they just created a PowerPoint, like a really good, PowerPoint pamphlet, like everything that people need, like a little bag that people could buy, and then, you could give them to them at the workshop, like something set up so that people who educate newbies,
right,
and, there's something that we're all following, some type of format, and you can, add in your own stories, but something along those lines, I think would really be nice.
I like it.
That would be good because there's a lot of differences out there in different groups that try to do like the 101 classes, right? Mm-hmm. So some good standard format, that would be good. Like officially from geocaching. So like, here's the best way to teach all this information.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool. Mm-hmm. I know they have some videos and stuff, but something more expanded maybe.
Yeah. On the different, trackables, and I know you have to go look for it, I think. It'd be nice if we could somehow set it up where, you go to a class, and if you want, I don't know. I think that would be fun.
Well, that's good because you've done some more than a few of those, haven't you? You've done the workshops and try to teach people and stuff like that. So
I'm coming up on my 3rd year of doing one in town at our sport and rec show. And I was just looking over my notes, and it's like, man, it'd be nice if I would like to know that I'm doing it justice, doing it well. But,
I can get you a PowerPoint that on puzzle caches that was put together for people. Yeah, specifically for educating folks that are not familiar with puzzle caches.
That would be good.
So
because those are confusing.
Yeah, they can be.
Oh yeah.
And so I'll get you that link for that PowerPoint. Might help a little bit with things, but yes, very cool. Well, you're gonna give away one of those books, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Sophia goes geocaching. Sophia finds a geocache. I'll get it right.
Yes. This book I will be mailing.
There you go. Sophia finds a geocache. Yay. There it is.
Yeah.
So we're going to give it away as we're going to include our audio listeners. So I will need the answer to the question I'm about to ask you by February 24th, 2018, midnight. So see, Sophia's telling us. Yes, you're right, Sophia. Exactly right. I got it right. So
I'm struggling.
Hang on. I got to ask the question. I know she's really okay. The question is the exact number of geocaches in North Dakota at the time of this show. So you may have to do some work on your number there. But as of February 18th, how many geocaches, the exact number of geocaches in North Dakota? And you need to email that answer to geocachetalk@gmail.com. And we will pick a winner, and I will let Angie know, and she will send out the book. So there you go.
That's tougher than it sounds, actually. That trivia question is actually tougher than it sounds.
The exact number. How's it?
8:06 Jesse time.
At 8:06, yeah, 8:06 Jesse time. You need to know because we need to make a note of ourselves in the. So Jesse put that in the show notes, and I will make sure not put that for everybody else to see, but make a note. So very good. All right. While Jesse's doing that, Angie, what are any last thoughts on all of this we talked about?
I think the big thing is the Geocache Talk blog, right?
Yes.
Sitting down, writing a story, or, I'm really interested, like personally, like what about geocaching with a toddler? Or maybe you have a dog, I've heard that it's similar. What are some tips? What is there? Is there a certain really good story you like to share? Like making sure you send that over to us so we can share it.
And where would you like them to send that to?
You can contact me on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook with @GeoJangie, or you can email me at jangiegowest@gmail.com. And I'm sure I can email you guys too.
Mm-hmm. Email the show too. That works. Yeah.
You can email us.
Any type of question you can ask me too. I'd love to help if you have an idea, but you don't know where to start, or maybe, like I said, just to proofread.
Very good. Yep. Geocachetalk.com/blog is where Angie is hanging out doing our blog. It's also hers. Where can they find your blog, Angie?
My blog is geocachingjangie.com.
Okay. And the Jangie is kind of funny because you originally were going to do something else. You try to mix
John
your husband's name. Yeah, you were going to do John G, which makes perfect sense. John G. But you couldn't get John G because some crazy person out there has that one.
Mm-hmm.
Of course
they're crazy. Yeah. So we went with Jangie. So it's John, right? John and Angie.
Yep.
It
makes sense. I make up more of it than him.
Now. Oh. Yeah, I think you said he will geocache, but he's more. It's kind of like what podcaster, probably what Sandy of Sunny and Sandy fame. She came up with the phrase snuggle. So he's not a muggle.
Yeah.
It's a snuggle muggle.
He's a snuggle muggle.
I would say he's a really good chauffeur. Or navigator.
Oh, John's gonna love that.
Yeah, I'm sure that he's gonna love that one.
Yeah. Is that what I am now? I'm just a chauffeur.
That's what every guy wants to hear, right? I'm a great chauffeur.
Chauffeur and a baby.
Just for geocaching.
That's what I am. I know. That's good.
Oh, a smuggle.
A smuggle.
Was it smuggle? Is that what it was?
I thought it was a snuggle because you snuggle with
snuggle muggle.
A snuggle, or
I don't know,
or just snuggle. Yeah, but anyway, smuggle works, I guess, or snuggle. It's your significant other, so that's the idea. I think that's what Sandy, was going for. So, I'll have to ask her. All right. We're wrapping up the show tonight. So you mentioned the ones that you're at. We're hoping to we'll have you obviously have you back on at different times. We'll talk about things, and I appreciate all of your insights so far, and your blogs have been great so far. Well, keep it up. It's been wonderful. No pressure.
Thanks.
No pressure. They have to be as good as the ones you've done. No, they've been really good. All right. Coming up on the show next week, show 87. We're going to talk about the Texas Challenge. Electric Water Boy, who wasn't in the chat room tonight, I don't know what his deal was, but he'll be on the show. Yeah, exactly. D of Team D&D, in case you're wondering. D will be on, and BE Viking. I hope I got that right, but Brian is going to be on with us. All part of the TXGA, and we're going to talk about the Texas Challenge, which is coming up March 10th. And Geocache Talk will be there, and we'll have a booth, and come by and see us, and say hi, and all that good stuff. Come shake our hand. And so looking forward to that. In 2 weeks, March 4th, we're going to talk show 88 with Jesse Tuttle, who is pretty much the grand poobah of Geo Woodstock this year. Gigastock, as I'm calling it. Gigastock. But Jesse will be on the show. Tell us about all the latest. A lot of stuff I haven't been able to talk about. I'm sort of an ambassador, but a lot of stuff is sort of hush-hush in the group. But I think he can finally start to share some cool stuff about Cincinnati and other side things that are going on at Gigastock. Susan and I are planning to be there at the moment. Like I said, new job and all that, I think, is finally settled a little bit, and so I think I'm able to do that. Jesse, of course, can't be there this year because of graduation. That's okay. You can go to the next one. Next Gigastock will be there.
Yeah, the next Giga. They'll just be all the time. No problem.
Hey, they might be. Once you get going with the Gigas, man, they'll be coming. I don't know. We'll hopefully.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. But so looking forward to that. And we're trying to work on some stuff too with the booth there. Working with Jesse, he might have some updates as far as what we're hoping to do, and so hopefully, make it to Cincinnati. Looking forward to that. And then in 3 weeks, Sodak Zach will be back, I think, from his trip to Malaysia, and we're going to talk about his new vlog with a V called "It's About the Numbers," and so we're gonna have our affiliate. We're gonna get affiliates, another affiliate show, which is really cool. So
we got the Dakotas locked down.
We do. We're the show of record, right?
That's right.
South Dakota. Yeah, the other shows are great too. So we love the other shows, right, Jesse?
Yeah, it's always good friendly competition.
We
right?
do.
Where everybody listens to everybody's show and everybody's interested in geocaching. There's no bashing. It's not like other industries, it's not like that.
No, exactly right. We show up on each other's shows, so it can't be.
Yeah, that's right.
We can't hate each other for
Yeah.
showing up on other shows. So we love them. So that's it. We hope you enjoyed the show tonight. Please email us your comments, geocachetalk@gmail.com. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Geocache Talk. At Gary Slinkard, one word. Jesse is at Memphis_Mafia. And Facebook. Come join our Facebook group. We've got people join lately. Facebook.com/Geocache Talk. Show can be found on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, Google Play. I got to figure out what's wrong with Google Play, and now Spotify, as well as the Geocache Talk website. Don't forget to click on the subscribe button below so that you can see and hear the show on a weekly basis and get a reminder that the show's on. Until next week, don't just talk about geocaching. Go to the Dakotas, especially North Dakota, because that's where Angie's from, and go geocaching. Good night, everybody.
Night.
Good night.